Hello, in this video, I'm going to be talking about A/B testing inside of Go High Level, and I'm going to be covering a lot of things from how you should do the A/B testing, what sort of goals you should have, mistakes to avoid, and I am going to even show you inside of Go High Level how you should do the A/B testing. And I'm also going to share a very cool hack with you to make sure that you increase your sales using A/B testing. And if you don't know me, my name is Luis Xavier, and I help Go High Level agencies to increase their clients' revenue by leveraging email marketing, email deliverability, sales journey, and much more. So let's get started. We're going to be talking about A/B testing, and I want to make sure that I cover everything. That's why I created this presentation. We're going to start with why should we do A/B testing in the first place? And the reason why we do A/B testing is because in email marketing, we can actually leverage from data. We don't need to be intuitive, or we don't need to guess what's going to work or not. We can leverage the data. So we're going to be testing, and we're going to know precisely what is working, what is not working. Okay. And even tiny little change that we make to the copy, to the subject line, and so on can make a huge difference. That's why you should always test two different variations of the same email, so then you can see which one is performing better. When it comes to what to test, there are so many variables, and I'm going to cover the key variables. But a lot of people get this wrong because they just think about open rates, and the truth is there are so much more that can be tested, right? And all those things are levers that you can use to increase the likability of people engaging with your email in the first place, and also the likability of you making sales, of course. Okay, so let's go through some of those. The very first one, subject line. The subject line is the number one thing that will get people to open the email, right? So it's very important that you test, and those things are not in any particular order. Okay, so you should test each one of those, and I'm going to go through like when to test and how you should test this. But you should test 100% the subject lines. That should be the very first thing that you test. And when it comes to subject lines, you can test a variety of things. It could be shorter subject lines. It could be that they are a little bit longer. It could be that you are using more persuasion. It could be that you are adding or removing emojis. So there are so many variables that you can use here when it comes to subject line. The next one, sending times. Sending times will be very, very important, and it could be either the actual time itself, or it could be the day of the week, or for example, I'll give you a quick example. So when you're doing a launch, you should have the launch started either on Tuesday or Thursday. Those are the days that most launches in history sort of start, right? And the reason for that is because those 2 days are the 2 days that people most likely will open the emails. Okay, so you need to test those. They will differ from one business to another, from one niche to another, so you really need to test them. Okay, send the names. So should you send from your name or from your business name? And for this one, I always send as the name of the owner itself. And the reason for that is because if you're talking about a business and you're talking about a person, people will always connect to the person a lot easier, right? So if you are to talk about Tesla, the first name that comes to your mind will be Elon Musk, right? The same thing with Apple. There'll be Tim Cook or Steve Jobs, right? So you connect a lot better with people rather than brands. You 100% should try and test sending from your name or the business owner's name, or from a brand itself. Okay, so that's one of the things that you can test. The other thing, email copy. So when it comes to email copy, you can test and see if the email copy is too long, the body of the email itself, or maybe it's too short. Maybe you can test and put images and so on. Then we've got CTA buttons. CTA buttons, what we're testing here is a variety of things. So you can test buttons versus link. You can test different colors for the buttons and different colors for the hyperlink itself. You can test the CTA itself. So instead of just having click here, you can actually have an action. Click here to download X, right? Then we've got email design. Email design, you could test just a plain text versus a full design in HTML, right? Then we've got the pre-header text. The pre-header will be that little few words that you see before you even open the email itself. And in here, you can test like a summary of the email itself, or you can test a little teaser to get people to open the email. So those are the most common ones, and I recommend testing them all, but you can do one at a time. Never test too many things at the same time, and I'm going to cover that very shortly. So best practices, how to conduct an effective A/B test. So test one variable at a time, like I just mentioned now. So don't go and try and change a lot of things, and then you won't actually know what's working, what's not, right? So if you're going to change the subject line and test the subject line, get two copies and then change them, and then you can compare and see which one is working best, okay? Use a statistically significant audience size, meaning you need to have a minimum of 500 to 1,000 people contacts going through the automations. Otherwise, you won't really know. If you only have like 50 to 100 people going through, that's probably not statistically talking a very good number, a very good amount to really decide which one is working or not. I particularly work with clients that have pretty big lists. One of my clients, they had 3 million contacts. We were sending 5,000 emails to 5,000 different contacts per day. And that was amazing because we had the ability to test a lot, right? And I'm going to show you something that you can do to test. And it's not just A/B testing itself. You can test a smaller offer and see if it's working, and then you can send that to the rest of the list. I'm going to show you that very shortly, so stick around. And in here, we've got run tests simultaneously to eliminate external variables. So when it comes to the A/B testing, you don't want to say, all right, today I'm going to test the variant A, right? And then tomorrow I'm going to test variant B. You want to test them at the same time. So you're going to have A and B, and you're going to split test, and I'm going to show you that shortly. And then you're going to have the contacts going to either version A or B, and then that's how you're going to test that. If you test one today and one tomorrow, maybe tomorrow is a public holiday or something happens, and then the numbers won't be accurate. You want to test them at the same time. So if someone is opening one and not opening the other, and they've been sent at the same time, then this is a lot more accurate, okay? The other thing, you want to set clear goals. You want to have the open rates, click-through rate, conversion. So you need to be asking yourself, what am I trying to learn, right? So am I trying to learn that one email is better than the other in terms of the subject line, as in like people are opening one and they prefer this rather than the other one? Like, what am I trying to learn here? Okay, am I trying to increase the sales? So you perhaps change the CTA, like, is it working? Have I increased the sales? Like, am I learning that by having a simpler CTA, maybe the numbers will increase, right? So you need to have a goal, you need to be very concise. The next thing, common mistakes. This is a huge one. If you are not going through the 500 to 1,000 contacts, and perhaps you just did 100 to 200 contacts, you are ending your tests too early, and that means that statistically it won't be significant, right? So meaning that you won't have a very accurate description about if it's working or not, okay? If you are ignoring mobile versus desktop, that's a mistake as well. And the reason for that is because this is more to do with the designing than anything else. So if you are testing the design of the email itself and you have it beautifully designed for desktop, and you haven't actually changed or personalized that for mobile, people in the mobile will have a very different experience, right? So the numbers won't be very accurate. So you will need to have a look into the reports and make sure that you are segmenting the two, mobile versus desktop, and then you can actually have a look into those two separately and see which one is working. Okay. The other thing, misinterpreting results due to small sample size. Once again, same thing. So if you have small sizes, 100, 200 instead of 500 to 1,000, then you won't get accurate results. And then that will affect the way that you interpret the actual results. Cool. So testing too many elements at the same time. And this is huge. A lot of people do that, right? They go, oh, I'm going to change the CTA and I'm going to have the body. So they do like black and white. So it's either one that is just full of crazy designs and the other one is just like playing with nothing. If you're just testing the design itself, that's fine. But most of the time, people will change the design and they will change the subject line and the CTA. And, like, so then you don't know what's working, what's not. You want to pinpoint with accuracy what is actually working. So I changed the CTA, I increased my sales by 5%. You know exactly what is working, what is not. When it comes to analyzing the results, you got to look beyond the open rates. Okay. So the opens are just one of the things that you should be looking at. So you need to look at the clicks, at the conversion, and the overall revenue. The most important thing to me, right, is the engagement. That's the very first one that you should look at, because if people are not engaging, you can't even make sales, right? So engagement translates to open, reply, and click. And if this is going well, then the next one will be the conversion itself. Okay. Make sure that you identify clear winners. Okay. And once you have the one that you like, this is the winner, 100%, I know this is the winner because of the data, then you can use that one. But once again, depending how it goes, depending on the results you're getting, you should actually test it again, right? So iterate and retest. And make sure that you document everything. You need to document everything, because then in the future, you can just go back and be like, oh, maybe I should adjust the CTA, maybe a different approach to the CTA. But then if you go back to your documentation, you're like, oh, I already done this test. You don't need to put the entire email marketing sequence through a test that has been done in the past. Let's talk about quick real life wins. I've got some examples here, but I'm going to show you some stuff in Go High Level very shortly as well. So first one, subject line. That's the biggest thing when it comes to A/B testing. And just by changing from a generic curiosity driven, it can increase your opens by 25%, right? So that means that if you have something that is more in line with your email and your avatar, meaning that the more you know your avatar, the easier it's going to be for you to get their attention, then you can actually increase your opens by a lot, in this case 25%. CTA buttons. Usually people, when they're just getting started with email marketing, they go, click here. Click here is horrible, right? Like, why do I need to click there? I don't even know what's going to happen. Is it a virus? Like, you should have like click here, and then it should be an action. Click here to download. Click here to change your life. Click here to join the program, right? So super important. Setting times. The setting time can actually make a huge impact, a huge difference. And the best way to do that, to know what time is the best time for you to send emails, is one, testing, and then two, going back to the reports to have a look. So you can actually go to the reports, and then you will be able to have a look and see what time people are more likely to open emails. And once again, that will depend by niche, by country, and everything, right? So you need to have a look, test, and see what works best. Okay. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to jump into an automation that I have created. And this is just a dummy automation. I use the recipe. So there's whatever in there, right? And what we're going to do here, we're going to do a split test. So let's say I want to do a split test on this email here. What I'm going to do, I'm going to have a split here. So it's literally called split, right? So A/B test. So I'm going to have 50-50, and I'm going to save it. And then I'm going to copy this guy, copy, and I'm going to paste it there. All right. So now you see, if people go through A, they will continue. If they go through B, they will finish here, right? So we got to fix that. So in order to fix that, we're going to press the little plus, and we're going to add go to. Then we're going to press save action, and then we're going to choose this guy. So they're going to come from the split. They go through the very first email. Then this is the next action that will be the same for both, right? So we're going to click here. And that means that now people will go through either one or the other, but they will end up going through this wait for 1 day. Okay. So it doesn't matter what email they go through, they will continue from what they were left off. Okay. So that's how we do the A/B testing. And then of course, it's a very good idea for you to say a test, right? So then you know that this one is going to be the A, and then you can go rename this one as well as B test. Okay. And then let's say in here, you can change, and you can put like an emoji, right? I'm just going to type emoji because, you know, otherwise I need to find one. But let's say you put an emoji here and you're just going to test the two, right? You can even go in here and put the notes, right? So you can say this is the original email, right? And then the other one, add, oops, close. And then the other one, you can go in here, you can say this version has an emoji in the subject line, right? So then as you make changes, you can actually document them here, and it's really, really cool, right? Alrighty, so that's the A/B testing for the very first email. Okay, as you can see here, we've got some other emails in here, and if we needed to do an A/B test, let's pick a random one. Let's say this one, right? So let's say we want to do A/B test of this one. So we would go and do the same thing. So we would go here, split, exactly the same thing. So no. Nothing changed. So we add the split test in there just before the actual email that we want to send. And we've got path A and B. We're going to copy this email. I'm going to copy there to B. And then we're going to add the go to, exactly the same thing. Cool. So that means that nobody is going to be stuck in the emails. They're gonna go either through one or the other, and then they're gonna go back to the second action that they would go if there was no A/B test in place. Okay. Now I want to show you something else for you guys, and of course, like, just go and rename them, and, you know, add the comments and everything that I showed before as well, right? So let me refresh this because I didn't save, so it's just going to go back the way it was before. And I want to show you a little hack that can help you, right? So let's say this is going to be an email where you're going to introduce an offer to them, okay? So let's say this will be the offer email, and then you're going to have, you know, the follow-up and all that stuff, okay? So let's say here you have two different offers that you can put in front of your prospect, and you have offer one and offer two. Offer one could be that you're going to sell a promo. So you have a particular product, they can put a 10% promo, and then you've got product B that will be a bundle, right? So it'll be, instead of one product with a discount, you're gonna have a bundle. Okay, so you're gonna have like two products in one, right? And it could be anything. So I'm just giving you an example. What are you gonna do? You're gonna do the same thing. So you're gonna press here, we're going to put a split test. Okay. Then you're going to have 50-50, right? And then you're going to copy this exactly the same as we did last time. All right. Then you're going to put a go-to in here. Save. Boom. Okay. So exactly the same thing. But what are you going to do? Instead of sending the entire list to this automation, you're going to send 15% of this list. Okay. So let's say you have 100,000 people, right? You're going to send 15%. So it's going to be 15,000 people. And I'm just rounding the numbers so it's easier. And you would have the 15,000 people coming through this automation, and they will either go through path A or B. But the idea is that you're going to be able to see which one sold more. So did you have the offer A, which is the discount, selling more than the offer B, which is the bundle, or was that the other way around? Regardless, what are you going to do after 15% of the leads go through? You're going to know which one is the winner. And then what you do, you're going to remove the split and you're going to put the winner in there. What's going to happen is you're going to send all the 75% of the list to this automation. So 15% go, you do the A/B test, and then whoever is the winner, you go and send the rest of the list. This is really cool because you only test the offer with a small chunk of the actual list, and then you're going to send the winner to the rest of the list, and that will help you to increase your chances of selling more because you're going to sell something that is proven. So you know what offer people want the most, what offer people are buying the most, and then you're going to use exactly that offer to send to the rest of the list. Okay, so let's say you have a winner and the winner is email number 2, right? So you just need to delete this guy here. So you would just go delete this, right? And then so let's go delete this guy, delete, done. And then now we can move this to path A. Then we can get rid of this. And what I like to do is just put a note in here so we know we need to delete this split test. Oops, so I already put it there, so that's fine. And then what we're going to do, we're going to move all actions from here to here. Alrighty. So then now we should have the split test here down the bottom. So what we need to do, just click here, delete this guy, and voila, we're good to go. And just like that, we've got the winner as email number 2. And that's it for today. If you like this video, make sure you subscribe so you can see more of the content that I'm going to be posting in the future. And feel free to share that with anyone that would benefit from this, anyone that wants to do A/B testing with Go High Level. Cool. Take care, have a good one, and see you in the next one.